all Egyptians against him.
Egypt has been torn apart.
العسكري يحكمنا قبل ما يحكمنا حسني مبارك لأنه حسني مبارك هو اللي مشغل العسكري عليه.
The unthinkable has happened.
We should never go back home until we get rid of this regime.
On January the 25th, Egyptians rebelled against their autocratic president Hosni Mubarak and his regime, which had dominated them for 30 years.
That was the day the fear barrier was gone, and I know that it's irreversible.
For a month, our crew was based around Tahrir Square in order to follow the course of the revolution and to tell the story of the young, poised between hope and despair.
God that will ever witness such a day in our lives.
It felt like your skin is burning, like you just want to peel your skin off.
When Tunisia happened and people asked me, do you think Egypt is next? And everyone here said, nonsense, you know, this is a different situation. There's so much apathy here and nobody wants change.
But as all the world now knows, the young people did want change, and the revolution was being driven by them. Muaz Abdul Karim is a 28-year-old pharmacist. He was part of the coalition of Youth of Revolution who organized the day of protest on January the 25th.
بدأ الحشد يوم 25 يناير قبلها بحوالي شهر. بدأت في صورة حوارات بنتكلم مع بعض عن طريق الفيسبوك ونتكلم مع بعض في الشارع في القهاوي وفي الأماكن اللي بنتجمع فيها كمجموعة من الشباب النشطين في وقفات احتجاجية في أعمال داخل الشارع. فتحديدا احنا بدأنا نتكلم عن ان احنا عايزين نعمل يوم نعدله زي يوم 6 ابريل وزي يوم 4 مايو، يوم نقف فيه ضد الطوارئ وضد المحاكم العسكرية وضد التعذيب اللي بيحصل في مصر.
عادي as soon as possible لعلمك السكر بره.
60% of Egypt's population is below the age of 30. Young, well-educated people who might have been expected to support Mubarak, but they're the ones taking the lead in the pursuit of change.
I've never felt that I'm proud to be Egyptian until the movement started, until it turned into a revolution. That was the first time I ever feel that I'm Egyptian, and yes, I'm happy to be one. Before I wasn't. And when I used to listen to the talks of my grandpa and my mom, when they used to tell me stories about how Egypt was great and how Egypt had the leading role in the region, and it was a powerful country. I've never seen it. I've never experienced it until the day that we started this on the 25th. I've seen the real power of the people of this country.
I think the amount of people who were uploading pictures instantaneously on Twitter and Facebook, that encouraged even more people to come down and participate and be in the protest.
Word spread more and more through word of mouth and through social networking and through websites and through messages and emails and Blackberries. And it was very fast and it was very quick, and people were all reacting very quickly. Even if they don't have Facebook accounts, some of their friends do.
At the very beginning, it was just the amount of people that was very surprising, and that was what was so significant. We needed to get the word out and get media to come and cover and try to upload as much material as we want, because we knew that the government was going to use force, aggressive force, and this needed to be documented, and at the same time we knew that the government was going to spread lies about the protesters.
With her video diary, Miral began documenting events to upload onto the web. Those citizens who had not caught on to the new media or were beyond the reach of independent TV channels were forced to rely for their information on state-controlled television. Shahira Amin was an experienced broadcaster for government-controlled Nile TV.
The media gave a semblance that it was free, when it actually wasn't. We had independent newspapers. There was talk shows on state television that openly discussed all sorts of issues happening in Egypt. But of course, it was very much controlled. And there were always the red lines and the taboo issues that you couldn't touch. Criticizing the president was one of them.
After a day of mass protests in Egypt,
faced with independent foreign broadcasters, social networking and the internet, the regime realized it had lost control of the information highway. It hit back with what it thought was its most powerful weapon: censorship.
Came Thursday night at maybe midnight or 1 o'clock. Suddenly, all the phones were shut. All the internet services were shut. The BlackBerry Messenger was shut. All communications, and for a specific time, even landlines weren't working. So this was unprovoked. When this happened, the demonstrators felt violated. We didn't do anything for you to do this to us. All we're doing is taking pictures and uploading them. So I think when this happened, this inspired a lot more people to participate.
The younger generation started on the 25th of January. And then there was word around that after Friday prayers on the 28th of January, we will go on for Tahrir Square.
When Dr. Wahabi went to join the demonstration in the square, he was surprised to meet the twin babies he delivered only days before.
I felt that if this lady comes down on that day with her twin babies, then we are really going for something big, and that we are defending something that is really formidable, and something that we should all participate in and never go back home until we completely get rid of this regime.
I knew that state television wasn't showing the real picture of what was happening on the ground. On state television, the presenters were repeatedly telling their viewers that there were foreign agents fomenting the unrest, that people were getting paid to stay in the square in dollars, or they were getting Kentucky meals. I didn't see any of that.
The regime, they're saying that all the protesters are being bribed to demonstrate against the government by meals from KFC.
Yasmin Mo is an Egyptian educated in the USA who has returned to Cairo to complete her doctorate in cultural anthropology.
The regime making claims like that, they're just trying to really trivialize and delegitimize the very legitimate claims of the protesters by saying they're being bought off with like chicken wings and coleslaw salads. Just ridiculous.
Yasmin has been caught up in the events and actively supports the calls for Mubarak to go now.
I went on January 28th, and that was actually the scariest protest because we didn't know what to expect. So we got near the People's Assembly. Maybe there was like around 1,000 people there, and everybody was chanting "Silmiya, Silmiya," peaceful, peaceful. And then all of a sudden, they just started tear gassing us. And that was really bad. Like, I've never been tear gassed before, and I hope I never am again, but it felt like your skin is burning. Like you just want to peel your skin off. And then your eyes are tearing up. I couldn't see, so I started crouching down. Then it became personal. You know what I mean? Like when you're the one getting tear gassed and being called names and all that, and then it moves from something very abstract, like grievances against this regime, to like, I experience this on a body level and I'm angry now. I don't know what color I should write stupid in.
In what appeared to be an orchestrated show of support for the regime, pro-government demonstrators appeared in increasing numbers and howled their contempt for the activists. It was Egyptian against Egyptian.
Stay forever. All the Egyptian people. We love Mubarak.
Words gave way to violence as clashes broke out across the square, with demonstrators facing off against Mubarak supporters and the police. While the battles raged around them, the military stood by, refusing to take sides. And while the soldiers watched, 400 people died.
I have seen several casualties on Friday the 28th. And that probably what made me decide that no, we will go on every day, Saturday, Sunday, and I closed my clinic and I informed as many patients as I could that we will not be back until something definite takes place.
The moment for me was on the 2nd of February, when I saw the men on horseback storm into the crowd, use their whips to terrorize the protesters. And I thought, a regime that does this to its own people, I cannot be part of their propaganda machine, the mouthpiece for a regime that massacres its own people. And that was the moment I decided I wouldn't be able to go back into that building again. I took out my cell phone and I wrote a message to my boss. Forgive me, I'm not coming back. I'm with the people, not the regime. And that was it.
The spell had been broken after 30 years. Ordinary people were prepared to be openly hostile to Mubarak's regime.
حسيت ان في حركه، حسيت ان في ايجابيه ممكن تحصل، حسيت ان هو ده وقت الحركه. قبل كده كان ممكن اول اتحركت كان ممكن قوي يسبب لي مشاكل في بيتي في اولادي في اي حاجه، لكن انا حاسس ان انا اتحميت، الشعب كده احتضنني، احتضنت الشعب، حسيت ان انا اتمأمن، فلازم امسك حتى لو برضه هتضر خلاص، في لحظات معينه البني ادم بيوصل ان هو بقى خلاص يعني لازم دي بلدي ولازم اعمل اي حاجه يعني تحت اي مسمى يعني.
الشباب بس على فكره دي مش ثوره شبابيه زي ما بيقولوا، انا اعتقد انها ثوره شعبيه لانها بتضم كل شرائح المجتمع. طبعا الشباب لهم دور اكبر فيها، لكن الشعب كله محتقر. انا مع الانفاق.
كل اللي حواليا مش محدش مؤيد، لان كل واحد فيهم بيعاني من حاجه. اللي بيعاني من ضعف مرتب، اللي بيعاني انه مش لاقي شغل، اللي بيعاني من التزوير اللي حصل، اللي بيعاني من الفطاحل البلد اللي مالياتهم عليت، وبقيه الشعب مش لاقي اوضه وصاله واحد يروح يتجوز فيها.
اديني سبب واحد بانه بيعند ومش عايز يمشي. هل خايف يتحاسب على الفلوس اللي اتاخدت؟ هل خايف حد يساله على العقارات والكلام ده اللي بره؟ هل خايف على المليارات اللي بيقولوا عليها؟ الحكومه بتحاول تلعب لعبه جميله قوي، بتراهن على الوقت وبتراهن على شغالك حاجتين يخوفوكي. اجندات خارجيه وفزعه الاخوان المسلمين. كويس؟ نمرة 2 الفراغ الدستوري اللي هيحصل في البلد والفوضى، وإني لو سبت الحكم يا جماعة هتبقى فوضى.
Although tens of thousands of people were on the streets, not everyone was convinced of the need for immediate change. Karim runs a hairdressing salon in the Cairo suburbs, employing 4 people.
في ناس خايفة وقلقانة، وفي ناس طبعا مصالحها وقفت بسبب المواضيع ديت. حظر التجوال من الساعة 6 ده كان موقف مصالح ناس كتير قوي. انا خسرت كتير قوي في الاسبوعين دول، خسرت كتير قوي. كنت مفيش شغل اولا، وعلى طول طبعا فلوسي من مرتبي لحد ما خلصت. عايز اقول لك صرفت فلوسي كلها في خلال الاسبوعين دول. مش بقول لهم يمشوا ويسيبوا ميدان التحرير والكلام ده كله، لا انا مأيدهم في اللي هم عاملينه ده كله. يعني دي حاجه كويسه، ومأيده هو من ناحيه تانية في ان هو مش يعني عارفه هو مش عايز يمشي ويسيب الحكم دلوقتي. يعني هو في مخيلته ان الدنيا هتبوظ او كده، لكن مفيش حاجه من الكلام ده هيحصل طبعا.
بتقول الصحفيين بتوع الجزيره بياخدوا مننا كلمه.
When the upper middle classes take to the streets, no autocratic dictator should sleep easy at night. Even Yasmin's mother, Noha, is taking up the cause.
Mama, I'm not gonna walk down to here with you through 15 checkpoints with these shoes. That's not gonna happen. Where are the other shoes?
لا, I used to work with high.
Mama, no. Mama.
أنا ليه حياة يعني اجتماعية تانية يعني ما كنتش مهتمة بالسياسة. بس بعد ما المظاهرات دي بتاعت 25 يناير وبتفرج على الجزيرة طبعا وبتفرج على العربية والقنوات الخاصة المصرية، القنوات المصرية اللي هي الأرضية بتاعتنا ما بتجيبش الحقيقة. فتأثرت قوي وعرفت ان انا فعلا يعني لازم اشارك، خصوصا بعد ما شفت الناس اللي ماتوا دول، الناس اللي ماتوا في العشرينات شباب. الشباب ده رجع الشعور بقى مش باللامبالاة ان كل واحد يعني يبقى دي بلده ولازم يقول كلمة ولازم يبقى فيه رأي ولازم الفساد ده ينتهي. يعني صحوا فينا او موتوا فينا شعور اللامبالاه ده. انا خايفه تاني يتعرضوا اللي هم بتوع الحزب الوطني دول والبلطجيه ومؤيدين مبارك، طبعا خايفه يتعرضوا لينا.
The women prepare supplies for the protesters in the square.
Okay.
They are joined by Yasmin's aunt. The demonstrators distribute supplies which come into the square and employ their own security system. As Egyptians anticipate change, huge numbers make their way into the square to reinforce the protest. Once Yasmin and her mother had handed over their cans of tuna, our crew lost them as they were swallowed by the dense crowd. With hopes and expectations high, Miral Brinji and Ahmed Badawi head for the square.
But anyways, there are a lot of rumors going around. This is like rumor day. حاضر يا ماما ماشي. لا باي. Okay, she told me that it was announced that the higher council of the armed forces is meeting at the moment, and it's breaking news. We don't know. People are worried that that he would declare martial law and put the country under military rule. People are very worried if that happens because if the army conducts some type of even if it's staged, like a staged coup, this might lead to less freedoms and a horrible degradation of freedoms in Egypt. Just a second. I'm Omaar.
Information updates could scarcely keep pace with events.
Hossein Badraoui, the new Secretary General of the NDP, just announced that he's going to resign today. But they're probably like setting some kind of handover or something. Okay.
If they
keep the news coming, please.
This would be one hell of a party. You're here on the right day, I guess.
Oh my God! The people are already like beep 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 beep.
Mubarak had said he would announce his plans later that evening.
It's the last day today for Mubarak.
It's really exciting. It's really, really exciting. I don't know, everyone is sending out messages. Everyone is saying that he's leaving today. Hopefully it's just a matter of the maximum couple of hours, and then we're going to hear the declaration that he's leaving, and it's going to be one hell of a party.
هتحتفل لما يمشي ولا ايه؟
طبعا!
هتحتفل لما يمشي ولا ايه؟
طبعا! يسكت حسن مبارك!
I never thought that we'll ever
witness such a day in our lives. Always thought maybe our grandchildren, but us? Mubarak's departure speech is supposed to be announced in a few minutes, and everybody's just waiting around and really excited to hear Mubarak announce that he is resigning office and leaving the country.
يا مبارك يا عمار جبت من 70 مليار جبت من 70 مليار يا سعودية يا سعودية.
Euphoria engulfs Tahrir Square. This is what the people have been longing for.
Wow, I can't believe it. Actually, seeing all those old people telling us that we did something that they were always afraid of doing, and just telling them that actually they rose us up this way to do that. If they couldn't, we did, and we're all here together at the end. I don't care whether we're young, we're old. I don't care. It's just to hear all those people singing together. That's never happened before. That's really never happened before.
انتوا اللي رفعتوا راسنا، انتوا اللي شجعتونا. في ناس معايا. بقينا ما نخافش من حاجة أبدا.
I thought I'd hear someone praising the youth like this, especially the older generation, the people in their 70s and 80s. I never ever expected them to be praising the youth and be praising young people, but we are proud. And people who participated in this revolution, we're very proud.
But Mubarak was keeping his people waiting. 6 o'clock turned into 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock into 8. 8 slid into 9. Then, a disturbing report.
Anas Al-Fei, the Minister of Communication and Media, of Mass Communication, he said that Mubarak is not resigning in Egyptian state TV. There's no way that this is just gonna pass without a major announcement being made. They're saying the speech is at 10 o'clock, so we're waiting. That should be like a few minutes, yeah. Look at the flags. I've never in my life seen so many Egyptian flags. Oh, شكرا يا حبيبتي.
At 10 to 11, Mubarak finally appeared on TV.
اسكت!
الأبناء شباب مصر وشاباتها.
Would the people's expectations be realized?
I address you today, to the youth of Egypt.
With intense anticipation, Miral Ahmed and the people in the square waits for confirmation that Mubarak is going. He addresses the nation as though they are children, without the remotest understanding of the substance of their demands. It is a crushing disappointment, and far from resigning, he announces he will remain in power until September.
So mainly he's saying the will of the people, that's what he's saying.
Euphoria has been replaced by despair. Then, despair turns to rage.
We're not stopping. I can't believe what just happened. I'm still in shock. But when my rationality kicks in, I tell myself he was never going to give up that easily. Nobody expected this revolution, and he was not going to give up this easily. It's the will of all Egyptians against him. What he just said is that I don't care about the will of the people. That's it. That's it. I'm more angry than I am depressed, honestly, because I know this isn't over. It's not over.
On the following day, dispirited yet defiant, the protesters continue their demonstration. Despite their anger, the demonstrators remain peaceful and disciplined. They spread from the square to the parliament buildings, ramping up the pressure on the government as their numbers continue to grow. Sisters Yasmin and Nidal take a break from the demonstration.
There's a lot of people chanting and trying to keep the optimism up, but just for me, I felt very depressed. I felt very pessimistic. It's almost as if no matter how many people we put there, how many people go there, that it's not making any difference.
Niagara Corp is interested in studying what the hell Mubarak is on, whatever it is. It enables an 80-plus-year-old to very strongly screw 80 million people in 20 minutes.
I think Egypt has reached a very important historical crossroads, and I will absolutely continue to go to Tahrir every day if I can and demonstrate for him to leave. And I think people who believe his promises that, oh, in 6 months there will be a new democratic Egypt, but just let me stay, those people are naive and they haven't read their history very well. Just this morning before I came, I read an article online written by a political analyst, a historian as well, and he was saying how in 1954, 2 years after the 52 revolution, 2 million people demonstrated against Nasser, and they were demanding freedom and democracy and the end to a military regime. And he came out, and this was in February, and he told them, I hear your demands, and in June we're going to have free elections. We're going to end the military regime. And the leader of those people, he said, okay, we believe you. And they left, and they were all arrested, and they were all imprisoned, and some of them were executed. And we had 26 more years of military rule. I mean, I think, if we were to listen to Mubarak and leave the square now, history will just repeat itself. And the saying that goes, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I think people need to read their history better.
As its numbers continue to swell, the crowd gives voice to its contempt for the state television's propaganda. Then, a statement from the military is announced on state TV. An end to emergency law. This is one of the major demands of the protesters. No time frame or details are given.
No, he's saying that, yeah. He is looking to leave with dignity.
It's been a depressing day. Yasmin's mother joins her sisters and daughters as they scan the TV for updates. The conversation centers around their concerns for the future.
لأن مصر دي زي عندك كده مثلث حسني مبارك هو فوق
لو حسني مشي ودول مشي وده مشي والقعده مشيت كله هيقع.
هم دولت اللي كانوا عاملين الدوله؟
لا بص،
دول كانوا مخربين.
نبص الى التحرير كنموذج لمصر حره. التحرير فعلا بقت 16 كيلومتر بلد حر، صح؟ مفيش قهر هناك، مفيش استبداد، في حريه تعبير وفي حريه كل حاجه.
ده مش المستقبل.
40% من الشعب، لا نقول 50% من الشعب المصري تحت خط الفقر. ويوم ما الاخوان طبعا
هيكون لهم صوت.
هيكون لهم صوت. مين اللي هينتخب الاخوان؟
الفقراء.
والفقراء بتمثل الاغلبيه. يبقى في الاخر الاخوان اللي هتمسكنا.
The debate in the Mole family mirrors the discussions going on throughout Egypt. They share the disquiet of those who fear that the increasing influence of the Muslim Brotherhood could split the protests along sectarian lines.
The majority of Egypt is poor people, uneducated.
Just because they're poor, it doesn't mean they go to the the poor people. The poor people النهارده they can go to the Muslim Brotherhood because they give them food, they give them health care, they give them
so that's why they go to
بس لما أنا أحط حكومة transparent وبتدي الأكل وبتدي الصحة, why do you think عشان هم they poor, they're religious Islamists? No, they're not.
Their debate is cut short by an abrupt television announcement from the Vice President.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious.
Mubarak has resigned. Less than 24 hours after his refusal to step down, he has gone. Celebrations sweep through Tahrir Square. And our crew joins the jubilant Miral and Ahmed.
حظر تجول كان على حسني مبارك فقط. هو الوحيد اللي قاعد في بيته وحظر تجول حسني مبارك.
Right now we don't have a president. Right now the president is the Supreme Military Council. So it's very exciting. It's the first time in over 7,000 years that Egyptians have freedom.
This period is going to be like martial law for a transition period, so it's going to be a bit tight in the streets, but there's not going to be any Ministry of Interior or the police, the normal police is not, they disappeared, and the army is only one that's in the street.
A lot of people have been retweeting this. The world showing love to Egypt. People from all over the world are tweeting a template message. Dear Egypt, don't worry about all the tourism money you lost over the last 17 years. We're coming. So that's very interesting. Hopefully it will be an economic boom.
The wonderful thing about this revolution was that the fear barrier was broken. Suddenly, you know, I think people stood together and they gave each other the strength and courage, and that was the day the fear barrier was gone, and I know that it's irreversible. There's no going back to the old ways.
A second visit to the cafe in Doki reveals an atmosphere transformed by optimism.
أنا بكيت من الفرحة لأن أنا كنتش مصدق إن الحلم ده يجي. كان حلم لكل مصري إن إحنا نخلص من الفساد والطغيان والحاجات كتير كانت سيئة في البلد أوي. إحنا حسينا إن إحنا رجعت لنا مصريتنا تاني، السوري بقت مننا يعني. فإن شاء الله ما فيش حاجة، بإذن الله البلد هتبقى كويسة جدا إن شاء الله.
المحرك بتاعها كان هذا الشباب اللي اتملى وتعلم، وكانت الناس فاهماه غلط، كانت الناس بتوصفه اوصاف ما يستاهلش انه يتوصف بيها، يستاهل ان الواحد يبوس ايده. فوجئنا بيهم خزنوا معلومات وخزنوا داتا كتيره جدا عن امثله اخرى للفساد في بلاد تانية، وابتدوا يشوفوا تجارب، ومن الحاجات دي هم اتعلموا. يعني حتى لما نزلوا التحرير كانوا منظمين بشكل غير عادي.
ونهدى شويه عشان نقدر نكمل اللي جاي، لان اللي جاي اصعب من اللي فات، لان احنا في مرحله صعبه جدا ومحتاجين كلنا نتكاتف. الشعب المصري العظيم
Beyond Cairo lie the more conservative rural areas, but here too there is a profound desire for change. Farm workers gather to talk over the demise of Mubarak's regime.
احنا كنا لا نتوقع ان عهد حسني مبارك هيتغير. ما كناش نتوقع خالص. كنا عايشين في استعباد تام من حسني مبارك. اللي يطلع العسكري يحكمنا قبل ما يحكمنا حسني مبارك، لأن حسني مبارك هو اللي مشغل العسكري علينا. والتاريخ خير شاهد في أول يوم المظاهرات، مين اللي قتلنا؟ مش حكومة مبارك. ده عسكري كان في جيش. كان في جيش وكان في المظاهرات. بالضبط بيجي له وبيقول له أمر اضرب. من مين؟ قتلنا حسني مبارك.
احنا أيام المظاهرات احنا عساكر.
أنت عسكري؟
أيوة عسكري في الأمن المركزي. ايام المظاهرات قبل المظاهرات جو عمرهم ما ادونا فلوس منح. جو قبل المظاهرات ادوا كل عسكري 100 جنيه. كل عسكري 100 جنيه. وبكره قالوا لنا يوم خطير ومش يوم خطير واحنا عاوزينكم بس تقتلوا الشعب. احنا مش راضيين لان احنا بنضرب في ابويا واخويا واختي وامي واهلنا. احنا مش راضيين بس ده امر علينا.
The young conscript is cautioned by his friends about the risks of talking too openly.
انما ما تقولش انا كنت باكل زي الزفت وانا كنت مش عارف ايه ومش لاقي لنا.
30 years of domination has left its mark, but others show no fear.
شعب مصر من 25 يناير حياة تاني. حياة اللي هو هيختار. حياة هيقسمها هو. الرئيس هيبقى موظف عندي مش هو رئيس. الرئيس ده اصلا موظف في الدوله، موظف عليا ان هو رئيسي، ما فيش مشاكل، نحترمه عشان هيمشي مصالحي، ولكن لما نلاقيه هو بيرقصني في كل حاجه وما نقدرش انا نتكلم، انا مشغلك عندي تتكبر عليا، ما ينفعش.
Back in Cairo, the demonstrators dig their heels in. Mubarak may be gone, but they're going nowhere until their full demands are met. Tahrir Square remains their headquarters.
Our ultimate goal is the free and fair elections, and we've been told by the High Council, the High Military Council, that these will take place within 6 months' time. But there's so much that needs to be done before then to get us there. Parliament will be dissolved. There will be constitutional amendments allowing for multi-candidate presidential elections. But we do have a leadership vacuum. I feel that 6 months may be a short time to groom or bring on the scene new leaders. There is no opposition to speak of.
Since 1952, from Gamal Abdel Nasser through Anwar Sadat and Hosni Mubarak, presidents have outlawed any opposition group which represented a danger to their tyrannical power. The government fostered an image of the Muslim Brotherhood as a popular and powerful Islamic organization, especially amongst the poor. Successive regimes presented the Brotherhood as a threat to the region and demonized it, particularly to the West. It was banned from forming a political party, and its leaders were regularly imprisoned and tortured.
I don't think I share the concerns of the West that the Muslim Brotherhood are very popular. They're not. It was just a myth. Mubarak, well, he managed to convince the West that it was either him or them.
أكيد في قناعات، لكن في أفكار اجتهادات إنسانية قبل إنها تتغير. فمبادئ الإخوان مش مبادئ حجرية يعني، ولكن احتكاك الشارع ونزول في الشارع ومتطلبات المرحلة بالتأكيد هيبقى فيها تغيرات حركية ومنهجية.
الله أكبر الله أكبر.
ولكن الإخوان كقيادات وكرموز وكجماعة لا تطمح في الرئاسة وكرسي الرئاسة والمشاركة في السلطة. هي مش الطموح لا للإخوان ولا غير الإخوان. لأن مصر دلوقتي في ورطة. مطلوب تقنيين أقوياء جدا لإدارة هذه البلد، والإخوان مش بيفكروا بالشكل ده.
It's not only Westerners who fear the Brotherhood. Egypt has a significant Christian minority. Copts make up 10% of the country's population and often feel discriminated against by the state, as well as threatened by the Brotherhood.
When it comes to Islamic Brotherhood, they don't want it secular, they want it sectarian. And that's what we're fear about. They are trying now to change their idea, and they are trying now to say like everything is going to be better. We're going to protect you under Islamic Sharia, but this is all lies. Like we have been suffering from Islamic influence in the church, and we've been suffering from Islamic influence in the politics. We just want like religion to be separate from politics.
As if to confirm the Copts' worst fears, within weeks of Mubarak's resignation, several Coptic churches were attacked. This brought the Coptic Christians onto the streets, demanding equal rights. And that resulted in violent clashes erupting between Copts and Muslims. No one knows who provoked the violence, but dozens were killed and hundreds injured.
Of course, I have hope it will be better, but it's not going to be better in 2011 or in 2012. Like maybe it's going to take more time. But I'm sure that Egypt is going to be better anyway.
Mubarak may be gone, but everyone is beginning to realize that testing challenges lie ahead. Yasmin and her aunt are in contemplative mood.
It's going to take a long time. I don't think it's going to be in my generation. Maybe not even your generation, your son generation. You will see the change. And now it's too soon. You need a lot of years.
Initially, like, I was really happy along with the rest of the people. But over the past 3 days, I'm seeing some worrying signs.
Yeah.
And they mainly have to do with the role of the army. I'm actually really pessimistic about the transition to democracy. I don't know if I should trust them, especially because a lot of their latest declarations are starting to sound more and more like Mubarak. Like, for example, there's still people protesting for different things, whether they're police officers or ambulance drivers and so on. And they're starting to say, instead of saying, yes, these people have a right to assemble and a right to express their opinion, they're saying these people are a threat to national security.
They are.
Well, I don't agree with that.
No,
and I feel like
agree.
that's exactly the rhetoric that was coming out of the previous regime. And did we just substitute one dictator for another?
You can't have stability. Now you got Mubarak out. Now the army's taking control. You can't have stability when people are still protesting. They need time.
Let's give them time, but let's not trust them blindly. And I think there needs to be checks and balances on them.
But if you don't trust your own army that protect the country...
No, I'm sorry. They stood by and let the protesters in Tahrir get killed on February 2nd. They didn't do anything for them. And now they say we were with you guys from the beginning. No, you weren't.
From the outset, young people have inspired this revolution. Although the military have now filled the vacuum of power post-Mubarak, the young still see themselves as the driving force in Egypt's future.
I could never really work in politics because we had no open politics in Egypt. So now that the new situation is that we're about to implement a democracy, hopefully. So I think now it was a good time for me to leave my current job and start focusing on maybe political activism and getting people together and trying to do something beneficial. We, as youth, as people who participated in the movement and people who didn't, we need, as a society, to come together and start organizing and start spreading awareness about what is the political process to normal, average people who would know nothing about it. We need to spread awareness about voting, about social action, about collective action. So I think that's where we should be focused right now. I think if we do that, and at the same time we have very limited time. We have 6 months before we'd have presidential elections. So I think we need to do that, and we need to do that very quickly, and we need to do it now.
On March the 19th, the democratic process began. At last, the Egyptians were free to vote in an open referendum. It was held to decide on constitutional amendments, allowing for democratic elections to follow. Immense queues formed, and 87% of the voters said yes to reform. Mubarak has gone, and elections are promised. But will those who inspired this revolution ever see the total transformation of their society that they hoped for in the heady days of revolution? Already, the military rulers have outlawed demonstrations, and what is to follow is anyone's guess. But whoever governs Egypt in the future will have to learn the lesson of this revolution. Egyptians no longer live in fear or awe of those who rule over them. They have found the courage and strength to bring down autocratic regimes, and from this, there is no turning back.